मूंग दाल पैकेट. Okay, very good morning, students. So, what was our yesterday's topic? We didn't discuss anything yesterday. We have a brief introduction regarding the subject analogy. I hope you remember the topics. Okay, so what is the structure of your paper number 13? How many sections are there? Two sections, section A, B. Section A comprises of corporate laws. Corporate. Section B comprises of economic laws. In corporate laws, how many modules are there? 3 modules. One is Companies Act. Second one is IBC, Insolvency, Bankruptcy Code. And the third one is CGCSRSD, Corporate Governance, Corporate Social Responsibility and Sustainability Development. And in corporate laws, how many submodules are there? Very good. 9 submodules are there. Okay. Sorry, in Companies Act. Okay. And in economic laws, how many modules are there? 8 modules. So this all sums up to 100 marks of paper number 13. Overall, in brief, this is our yesterday's session. Clear? So today we are going to start an important topic in entire company law, that is none other than directors and AMP. I have already communicated regarding this topic yesterday, right? So I said that there are 2 important topics in Companies Act 2013. What are those 2 important topics? One is directors and KMP, and the second one is board meetings and procedures. Okay, so these are all must and should. Students must cover these 2 topics in a comprehensive way. That is 100% coverage should be done by student before attending for examination. Okay, so that is why I am starting with the most difficult chapter, or we can say interesting chapter also. It is somewhat difficult, but it is an interesting topic in practical scenario also. Okay, so that is directors and AMP. I can start with incorporation, formation and conversions also, but you have already studied and you all know the basics of Companies Act. That is why I am not going to start and consume your initial time. That is why I am starting with chapter 5. So before we will start, I have a small question. You all know basics, right? Companies Act basics. Companies Act basics, okay? Just answer me on single question. You all know about Section 8 company, right? What is Section 8 company? Not for profit organization. Very good. Section 8 company is a private company or a public company? Very good. Which company? Private company. How many of you are voting for private company answer? Raise your hands. Section 8 company. I'm again asking the question. Listen properly. Section 8 company is a private company or a public company? What do you think? No hurry. Try to revise and recollect the basics and answer the question. Section 8 company. You answered the initial question beautifully. I have asked what is Section 8 company. You said not for profit organization. That's somewhat I am satisfied with that. Some people will look here and there. What is Section 8 company? So for that part, I am satisfied. Section 8 company is a not for profit organization. Very good. Charitable company. Answer the question. Section 8 company is a private company or a public company? Few people are saying private company. And what about remaining other people? They are saying OPC. Section 8 company is an OPC. Section 8 company private or public? Private company people, raise your hand. Confidently raise your hand fast. What about remaining people? They don't have clarity among basics or what? What are they thinking? Section 8 company is not at all a company. Section 8 company is neither a private company nor a public company. You can start Section 8 company in the form of private company, or you can start Section 8 company in the form of public company. The choice is yours. Private company requirements and public company requirements are both are different, right? How many minimum number of members are required to start a private company in the public company case? So, and paid up capital requirements as of now, nothing is prescribed, but private company and public company incorporation is somewhat different. So, you can start Section 8 company. If you wish to start in the form of private company, you can start Section 8 private company. If you wish to start Section 8 company in the form of public company, you can start Section 8 company in that manner also. So, there is no fixed answer for Section 8 company. It is neither a private company nor a public company. If you wish to start it in the form of private company, you can do so, and in other way also you can do so. So why I have asked this question regarding to test your basic knowledge. Okay, somewhat I am satisfied. At least 50% answers are correct. So remaining 50% you have to brush up your basics. Okay, so anyway, after completion of these important topics, we are going to discuss that basic topics also. Yesterday I have informed, right? How much percentage of syllabus we are going to discuss in our sessions? 80%, 75%, 100% syllabus we are going to discuss by December 1st. December 31st. August 1st or August 31st? August 31st. How many budgeted hours? 100 to 120 hours. In 100 hours, we are going to complete entire syllabus in a comfortable way. Last 20 hours, we are going to discuss CQs. Okay. So, okay. Basics, some people are having somewhat of basics, and what about other people? They have to question themselves. Okay. Right. Let's start with our new topic, directors and KMP. KMP means key managerial persons. Key managerial persons. So KMP we will discuss in the later part of this chapter. First of all, we will discuss about director. This is a very important topic, and for clarification purpose, this is the structure of this chapter. So what we are going to discuss in today's session, this is the structure. So first of all, we are going to learn who is a director as per section 234. And next, we are going to learn role and importance of director. I hope you are given with materials, right? Hard copy. Okay. I think soft copies are shared in your Telegram. By this time, they have shared. And after completion of this session, definitely you are going to provide it with hard copies. Okay. Director's hard copies. Next, we are going to discuss role and importance of directors. And next one, minimum number of directors and maximum number of directors and types of directors. These are the topics which we are going to complete in today's session. Till how much time is our session? 8:15 or 8:30? 8:15. Some people are dissatisfied about they are not provided with sufficient breakfast time. 30 minutes of time is not enough for completion of all the shops and all. So that is why 45 minutes breakfast time has been provided. So 7 to 8:15. So in this session, we are going to discuss these topics. So first of all, director. As per 2 subsection 34, who is a director means director is a person who is appointed to the board of the company. Just a minute. No need to write anything. Anyway, you will be provided with handwritten notes and hard copies also. No need to write. Just listen carefully. That's it. Or if you want to write, write it in a summarized way. Don't write neatly as per charts. Nothing. Those things are not required. Shorthand, shorthand. So in symbolic way, you can write. There is no problem. Why? Because in writing, in order to write neatly, you will going to lose the session. So you have to sacrifice the listening. That is why I won't suggest parallel writing and parallel listening. Okay. So first of all, who is a director? Director is a person who is appointed to the board of the company. Board of the company. So in yesterday's discussion, if I am not wrong, we discussed about the nature of the company. Company is an emotional person, right? Emotional person. Company too is also having feelings or feelings. Company is which person? Artificial person. So company can execute its own thing, execute its things on its own. So company cannot do the required things on its own. So someone should come and someone should execute those required compliances and required things on behalf of the company. That mechanism, that persons collectively will be called as board or board of directors. Board and board of directors, one and same. Okay, board is a collective word. Board means not a single person. Not a single person. Can I call this person as CMA final class? He is a part and parcel of CMA final class. You are collectively will be called as CMA final class. In the same way, individually a person will be called as director. Collectively, that group is called as board or board of directors. Are we clear? Following? What is the definition of director as per section 234 means? Director is a person who is appointed to the board of a company. Who is appointed to the board of a company. Again, sir, we studied income tax. As per income tax definition, person means collectively lot of persons are there, right? Person includes, person is, you know the definition of person, right? AOP, BOI, HUF, individual, company, partnership firm, LLP, so on, so the list goes on. So can an association of persons or body of individuals or a company, body corporate like a company or LLP can be appointed as a board of director means no. So income tax definition and Companies Act definition entirely different. Here person means only individual. Okay. So let me show you this thing. First of all, who is a director under Companies Act 2013? So as per section 234 of Companies Act, director means a director appointed to the board of a company. Director means a person. Okay. So a director is an individual. Director is individual, neither company nor LLP nor some artificial person. Okay. So individual who is appointed to perform the duties and functions of a director in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013. And when it's come to the second line, only an individual. That means which person? Natural person can be appointed as director, not a body corporate firm or association. So are we done with definition part? Everybody understood? So director means a person who is appointed to the board of a company. Any individual can become a director. Of course, qualifications and disqualifications are there. We will discuss in the later part of the other session. But only individuals are eligible to be appointed as directors. No artificial persons are eligible. Say for example, ABC Limited is there, and ABC Limited is having lot of surplus funds. ABC Limited is in the business of garment production or cotton wool processing. Okay, clothes. ABC Limited is having surplus amount of funds, and ABC Limited wishes to enter into real estate business. That is why it is started a new company XYZ Limited. So XYZ Limited is a 100% subsidiary of which company? ABC Limited. Who is having the ownership among XYZ Limited? ABC Limited is having the full and final ownership among XYZ Limited. Clear? So now ABC Limited is wishes to direct the company, and ABC Limited is wishes to administer the company. So that is why XYZ Limited director is ABC Limited. XYZ Limited director is ABC Limited. Is it possible to do so? No. Who are you to say no? Who is the owner? Who is the owner of XYZ Limited? ABC Limited. Then he has full and final and sole ownership, and he wishes to run the company according to his directions, according to its directions. So ABC Limited wishes to act as a director in XYZ Limited. What's wrong in it? Is it possible as per Companies Act provisions? As per the provisions of Companies Act 2013, only individuals are eligible to act as a directors of a company. So that is why being ABC Limited is a which person? Artificial person, not a natural person. That is why ABC Limited is disqualified to act as a director irrespective of your ownership. You might having 100% of ownership, 75% of ownership. You are a substantial interested person in that company, but you are not allowed to act as a director. Clear? Who is eligible? We will discuss in qualifications and disqualifications in detail. Okay. Next one, role and importance of directors. Role and importance of director. Why we need directors in a company? Sir, yeah. Why we need directors in the company means here role and importance. How many points are there? 5 points. The first one is you have to remember in this way if required. So first of all, fiduciary position. Director's role is fiduciary role. Director's role is fiduciary role. Do you know what is meant by fiduciary relation? In foundation and inter, you have already studied about Indian Contract Act, right? Fiduciary position, fiduciary relation, free consent chapter. What? Independent. No, no, no. Fiduciary means it is a relationship with trust and confidence. It is a relationship with trust and confidence. Say, for example, you approached a doctor regarding a problem. You are suffering with fever and cold. Your nose gates are opened, and whatever the okay, no. You consulted a doctor regarding you are suffering with fever and cold from past 3 to 4 days. And he prescribed some medical test, and he prescribed some medicines also. What you will do? What is your course of action after the receiving the prescription? You are going to study it. Even though you study, are you going to understand the prescription? No. Anyway, you will go to medical shop and you give it to the person. Medical practitioner is there, no? You will give it to the person. And the medical shop owner or medical practitioner, whoever is there, he will give medicines according to the prescription done by the doctor. Are you going to Google the medicines, and are you going to check the side effects, advantages and disadvantages of consuming this medicine. Blindly, you will consume the medicine. And doctor will suggest you to take some medicines before breakfast and take some medicines before sleep. Some medicines are after lunch. So some sort of prescriptions are there. Na? You are going to follow those prescriptions blindly, right? That is a fiduciary relation. You are not going to cross check. You will blindly do it. That is a fiduciary relation. Why? Because you are having 100% amount of trust and confidence upon the doctor. Clear? That kind of relations are called fiduciary relations. Guruji and disciple. In religious things, if Guruji say so, then disciple will automatically do. If you go to temple and Guruji told you to do 3 pradakshinas, what you are going to do? Are you going to argue with Pujari? Why 3? Why not 33? I'll do 333. So these relations are called fiduciary relations. Relationship with trust and confidence. So in the same way, what is the relation between company and director? Fiduciary relation. That is, company is going to believe blindly the director, and company is going to place enormous amount of trust and confidence among the director to run the company. To run the company. In the previous example, who is the owner of XYZ Limited? ABC Limited, right? So ABC Limited is disqualified to act as a director, right? Then what ABC Limited is going to do? ABC Limited is going to appoint some bunch of persons as directors. That is, ABC Limited is placing enormous amount of trust and confidence upon those individuals, right? To run the company. Which company? XYZ Limited. So the relation is fiduciary relation. Relation among whom? Company and the directors. Directors are not the owners of the company. They are the trustees of the company. Some directors may be the owners of the company. That is a different manner. Say for example, is there any rule in Companies Act that promoter should not become a director? Is there any rule? Have you ever studied that kind of rules? In entire Companies Act, have you ever studied that the promoter of the company or the shareholder of the company should not become director? Have you ever studied this kind of rules? No, there is no rules such. There is no such rules in Companies Act. You can become a director if you are an eligible person. That's it. So there is no bar or no prohibition against shareholders or promoters. In some cases, promoters will become directors. In some cases, shareholders will become directors. In some cases, outsiders will become directors. In some cases, outsiders will become directors. So, whatever the empire you are going to build, whatever the amount you are going to invest in the company, end of the day, you are going to give the company administration or company management to some outsiders in the name of directors. Say, for example, you don't know car driving. Recently, you purchased 80 lakhs MG Gloucester. Morris Garages, Gloucester, 80 lakhs. You don't know driving, but you have a lot of money. Okay, what you are going to do? You are going to appoint a director. So, driver, director. So, you are going to appoint a driver. Why? Why you need to appoint a driver? Why? Because you don't know how to drive the car. So obviously, there is no option left with you. You have to appoint a driver. If there is no driver, what you are going to do? Nothing but taking selfies before the car. It is useless now. Why? Because you don't know driving. So you have invested 80 lakhs in your car, but ultimately you are giving the control, entire control to driver. In the same way, company also is going to hand over the entire administration and management process to whom? Directors. That is why directors, the relation between directors and the company is a fiduciary relation, the relationship with the trust and confidence. Relationship with trust and confidence. Why? Because shareholders or promoters or owners, whoever it may be, they invested their time and efforts and money in the company, and end of the day, they are going to give the control over the company to whom? Directors. So the relationship is fiduciary relation. Directors are in fiduciary position. And the second one is, are you understand? First point, are you clear? Are we clear? Fiduciary position, clear? And the second position is DM, decision maker. Board of directors are decision makers, or a director is a decision maker. Why you appointed director? To run the business, right? In order to run the business, you have to take lot of decisions in day-to-day activities also, right? We will take the decisions for each and every decision. Are you going to call general meeting? Come, we need to discuss EGM, AGM. Are you going to convene for every decision? For those kind of decision making activities, you appointed directors or board of directors. So on behalf of shareholders or owners or promoters, board of directors are going to take decisions. So the second quality is director's quality is decision making. Director's role, what will a director will come and do in the company? He is in a fiduciary relation and he will take decisions. He will take he'll take decisions on behalf of owners of the company. That means shareholders of the company. Clear? And the third one is compliance officer. Compliance officer. Do you know what is meant by compliance? Very good. What is meant by compliance? Compliance means following the rules. Compliance means following the rules. That's it, nothing other than that. Say for example, you are going on a bike. Red signals appear in the traffic junction. What you are going to do? Stop. That means you complied with traffic rules. Simple. So comply means following. Comply means following. So director is a compliance officer. So as a company, it is either a private company or a public company. Company has to comply with lot of rules and regulations which are imposed by Companies Act as well as MCA. Say for example, recently we appointed a director. Within 30 days, we have to file a consent form, right? DIR 12. So all these things are done by directors only. Company can't do the things on its own, right? Why? Because company is an artificial person. For that purpose, we have appointed director. So director is a compliance officer. Director is a compliance officer. Next, and director is a strategic personality. He is a strategic decision maker with whom we should collaborate, how we should promote, how we should expand our market share, how we should expand our production facility, how to make borrowing through equity shares or through preference shares or through debentures or through term loans. These are all strategic decisions or regular decisions. Strategic decisions. One single decision will affect your entire business structure. So directors are entrusted with that kind of activities. And LR, legal representative. Legal representative. Legal representative for whom? Company. Say for example, notice has been issued as per income tax rules. Demand notice has been issued to the company saying that you owed this much amount of money to income tax department in the name of advance tax or penalty, whatever, interest, whatever. Income tax department has issued a demand notice to whom? Company. Then who will appear before income tax department? Who will appear? Company will appear. Is it possible for the company to appear? Why? Because company is a. Then who will appear? Director will appear. In the capacity of in the capacity of legal representative. So director is a legal representative of whom? Company. So this is the role, or this is the importance of having a director in the company. Role means nothing, Amma. Say for example, you have recruited by a company for the position of accountant. For the position of accountant. What is your role? Generally, an accountant will do what kind of things? He will morning come and sweep the benches and clean the entire office. That is the role of an accountant. So there is a particular job description, right? According to that job description only, you are going to execute your works. In the same way, why we need a director? What is the role of director? What will a director will come to the company and do means these are the activities director will come and do in the company. How many points? 5 points. First one. First one, fiduciary position. Fiduciary position. So he will act as a, just a minute. He will act as a trustee and agent of the company. Okay. And the second one is decision maker. He participate in key business decisions through the board. And compliance officer. Compliance means following the rules. So director ensures that the company complies with the legal and regulatory provisions. Just like I said, DAR 12 in our earlier discussion. Next one is strategic planner. Director will guides in formulating company strategy, policy, and objectives. It might be marketing policy, production policy, human resource policy, recruitment, whatever. Next one is representative. Which representative? Legal representative. So director will represent the company before regulatory authorities. Just a minute. Yeah. Director will represent the company before the regulatory authorities or in a legal proceedings. So this is the role and importance of a director in the company. So are you able to understand all these 5 points? So we will quickly recollect what we have learned so far. First, we came to know about who is a director. So director is a person who is appointed to the board of the company. Section 234. Clear? First point clear. What will a director will come to the company and what kind of activities he will do? What you are expecting from the director to do? Means a director is expected to do these 5 things. What are those 5 things? One, he will be in a fiduciary position with your company. That means trusteeship. First point. Second one is decision maker. Directors collectively are going to take decisions to run the company or to administer the company or to direct the company. And the third one is, what is the third one? Compliance officer. Third one is compliance officer. Director, that is why in many provisions, for example, company failed to do income tax return or secretarial audit report or financial report or board report, or company failed to convene general meeting. There is a time limit for convening general meeting, right? AGM. On company failed to convene board meetings also. If this kind of irregularities are happening in a company, Companies Act will accountable some persons, some directors in the company, and it will penalize those persons, right? It will penalize those persons. Right? Why Companies Act penalizing directors for the mistakes done by the company? Why? Because directors are the compliance officers. Directors are the compliance officer who is supposed to do all these things: convening board meetings, convening general meetings, filing income tax returns, furnishing a board report. These directors are expected to do all these things in compliance. That is why if compliance itself failed, then we'll make these persons as responsible persons. That is why director is a compliance officer. Director is a compliance officer. Clear? And the fourth one is strategic planner, and the fifth one is legal representative. Legal representative. Somewhere around 8 to 9 years back, asked a simple question. At that time, paper pattern is somewhat different. They used to give last question as write a short note on something. They used to give A, B, C, D, E, 5 questions. Write any 3 questions from the following. At that time, they have asked this question. Write a short note on role and importance of directors in the company. Then you have to write these 5 points. Okay. And next one, what we are going to learn, minimum number of directors and maximum number of directors in different companies. So let's quickly look at minimum number and maximum number. This is about minimum number. So minimum number of directors in OPC, minimum number of directors in private company, public company, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'll discuss about appointment and reappointment also at the time of I think minimum number, maximum number. After that, types of directors. After that, qualifications and disqualifications of director. After that, appointment, reappointment, rotation, resignation, removal, remuneration of directors will be followed. Okay. So don't worry, all these things are going to learn in coming session, not today. Okay. Your breakfast time not done. Okay. So this is the minimum number. For OPC, minimum number of directors are, for private company, public company. Next, maximum number of directors, any company, 15. But there is a relaxation that if you wish to have more than 15 directors, you can do so. But before appointing 16th director or 17th director and so on, you have to convince your shareholders. You have to pass special resolution. That means you have to justify to your shareholders that why we need 16th and 17th and 18th director. Why we need more than 15 directors. Sir, being our company is a huge company, lot of activities are pending in the company. Our 14 directors or our 15 directors are not enough to discharge the workload. We need 20 directors, sir. That is why we are appointing more than 15 directors. For that appointment, your approval is needed. In order to appoint 16th and so on directors, you have to take the prior approval from shareholders in the form of special resolution. That is 66.6% voting, right? Special resolution means 66% voting, right? 2/3, na? 2/3, very good. Yeah, you are my student. 2/3. 2/3. 2/3. I think some people forgot the basics. Special resolution means 2/3 or 3/4? 3/4. Okay. Ordinary resolution means 2/1. 2/1. 2/1 or 1/2? 1/2. Huh? What is the percentage of voting required for special resolution? 75%. That is 3/4. Some people are comfortably convinced with 2/3. Yeah, 2/3, 2/3, 2/3. Even though I'm repeating 2/3, 2/3, 2/3. Yeah, they are comfortably convinced. 2/3. Yeah, 2/3. 3/4 voting. So in order to appoint more than 15 directors, you have to take the prior approval from shareholders. in the general meeting. It may be AGM or EGM. Resolution is something different. I'm talking about meeting. You have to take the approval from shareholders in general meeting, maybe AGM or EGM, through special resolution. So special resolution means 75% of people or more people should be convinced with your justification. Yeah, board of directors are occupied with so much of workload. In order to run the company in a smooth and comfortable way, they should be provided with some more human resources. So that is why we need to appoint 16th and other directors. If they convince, if you are successful in justification, they will approve. Otherwise, they will not approve. So this is the rule. Maximum number of directors means 15 in a company. But there is a relaxation for this company. Section 8 company. There is a relaxation for Section 8 company. They might ask in MCQ or in one or other way. That is why I am highlighting this point. If Section 8 company wishes to appoint 25 members, 25 directors, sorry, members not, 25 directors for that company, it can do so without passing special resolution. Why? Because this rule does not applicable, this limit does not applicable to charitable company. Clear? So what is the minimum number for a public company? Minimum number of directors for a public company? 3. Private company? OPC? Maximum on rule, on paper it will be 15, but companies are allowed to appoint more than 15 directors also. In order to appoint more than 15 directors, what you are going to do? What you need to do? You are going to convince the shareholders by passing special resolution. You have to take the approval from shareholders by passing special resolution. For that, you have to justify the shareholders why you need more than 15 directors. Why? Because having a director is not a simple thing, ma. It is an expensive affair. It is a expensive thing. Why? Because you have to pay the sitting fee, you have to reimburse the expenses, you have to pay the nominal remuneration. Okay, so lot of things will be there in the appointment of directors. So shareholders generally will be reluctant. Reluctant means oppose. Shareholders will be generally be reluctant to appoint more number of directors. For example, if you started a company, in that company, accounts department need is arised. So initially what you will do, initially you will recruit 1 or 2 people. Initially you will recruit 1 or 2 people. If the workload is unable to handled by that 1 or 2 people, then what you are going to do? You will recruit additional persons, additional 1 person, additional 2 persons. So depending upon the demand and requirement, you are going to recruit additional persons, right? It is justifiable, it is better. Or let's understand the second case. You started a company. For that company, accounts department requirement arised, and immediately you go to a chartered accountant firm, or you go to one HR consultancy firm, and you asked for appointment of chartered accountant, 3 MBA finance persons, 2 BCom persons, or so you empaneled an accounts department with 9 persons. In case number 1, you started initially with less number. What are the advantages of case number 1? You will be suffered with less fixed cost. In case number 2, you empanel the account department with 9 members. That too with chartered accountants, MBA finance persons and other persons. You are going to incur huge amount of fixed cost, right? In the same way, directors also. That is why shareholders will generally be reluctant for having more and more number of directors. They will try to reduce. So why this person is needed? Why that person is needed? Can we remove this person? Can we should not reappoint this person next time? There is no big value addition by having this person as director. So if shareholders are in that perception, they'll cancel the reappointment. Simple. I'm going to discuss brief in detail at reappointment also. Appointment, reappointment, removal, resignation is there, na? And I hope you all know maximum number of directorships. Do you know maximum number of directorships? Directors, no, not directors, directorships. That means a person can act as director in how many companies? That is directorships. Okay, before commencement of this act, what is this act? Companies Act 2015. 13, huh? Very good. Companies Act 2000. Before commencement of this act, there is no strict and stringent rules regarding the number of directorships. But after commencement of this act places a strict rules regarding having maximum number of directors. And the number is 20. And the number is 20. Out of the 20, there is a sublimit, 10 public companies. So maximum you can represent 10 public companies. Maximum. Sir, I wish to represent 11 private companies and 9 public companies. Is it possible to do so for me? Means yes, possible. In reverse, sir, I wish to act as a director in 11 public companies and 9 private companies. Is it possible? No. Beyond 10 number public companies, you are not allowed to act as a director in any other public company. So maximum you are allowed to act as a director in 10 public companies. 10 public companies. And collectively, how many directors, how many directorships you can hold? Simultaneously, you can hold 20 directorships at a given point of time. I'm going to discuss in detail about these directorships in section 164. Section 164. What is section 164? Disqualifications of a director. Disqualifications of a director. After completion of types of directors, we are going to discuss qualifications and disqualifications. That disqualifications is mentioned in section 164. I'm going to comprehensively discuss at that point of time regarding number of directorships. As the situation arises, just I have given a brief idea regarding directorships. How many maximum directorships? 20. Out of that, maximum sublimit is applicable for private companies or public companies? Public companies. How much? 10. Very good. So I wish to act as a director in 19 private companies and 1 public company. Possible? 19 public companies and 1 private company. Not possible. Very good. Next one is, so this is all about minimum number of directors and maximum number of directors. Are we clear so far? What is the minimum number of directors for OPC? Private company, public company. Maximum number for any company, it will be 15. In order to appoint more than 15 directors, it is possible or impossible? Possible, but you need to convince your shareholders through special resolution. So what is our discussion so far? First of all, we came to know about who is a director. Director is a person who is appointed to the board of the company as per section 234. That is the case, right? So, and after that we have discussed the role and importance of a director. Directors are entrusted with 5 roles. One is fiduciary capacity, that is fiduciary role or fiduciary position, whatever you may call fiduciary position. And the second one is decision maker. Director is a decision maker and director is a compliance officer. Director will make sure that all the rules and regulations are followed by the company. No rule is being violated by the company. If company violated some rules, what will happen? He will be punished at the end of the day. Okay, so that is why director is a compliance officer and director is a strategic planner. Strategic planner. And last but not least, director is an LR. LR means lorry receipt. LR means legal representative. Director is going to represent the company in legal proceedings. 2 days back, an incident happened, Pasamailaram, nearby Patancheru. One reactor in a chemical company has exploded and around 40 plus members have died. Immediately, company police department arrested board of directors, executive directors especially. I'm going to tell you types of directors, executive, non-executive, I'm going to tell. Instantly, police department arrested the executive directors. Why? Why? Because they are responsible for the good maintenance of the company. So, explosion of boiler is a big thing. Why? Because boiler or reactor is the key thing for a pharmaceutical entity or a pharmaceutical company. Company should take utmost care when it comes to boilers or reactors. So due to under maintenance or substandardized maintenance by the company, the explosion happened and the loss of lives has been happened. Around 40 plus people are died. So this is a big incident. So department made responsible directors and instantly they are under arrest. Okay, that is complaints officer, that is role of complaints officer and legal representative. He is initially be responsible for the wrong things done by the company. Why? Because company itself has no brain. Who is brain and eyes and ears of the company? Directors itself. Okay, so that thing we have already discussed, role and importance, and after that we have discussed about minimum number, maximum number. Minimum number 1, 2, 3, maximum number 15. Beyond 15 we require special resolution. Enough. And after that we are going to learn types of director, which is an important thing. Types of directors. So first and foremost thing we are going to do is these key points. Remember, in this key point, resident director and woman director points are included, but these points will come under types of director. No worries. I'll show you 1 minute. Resident director, woman director, right? Came or not? Point number 10 and point number 11. Resident director and woman director. And independent director also. Small shareholder director. Fifth one, independent director. So in total, how many types of directors are there? Means 12 types of directors. First one is executive directorships or executive directors. That these are all categories, ma. These are all categories. Say for example, don't think that in executive category only one person should be there, or in a non-executive category only one person should be there. No. Executive director is a category. We can cook any number of persons in the name of MD, managing director, whole-time director, COO. Yesterday you told, that person told, COO, chief operational officer, CEO, chief executive officer. These kind of persons are entrusted with day-to-day activities of the company. Those persons are called executive directors. In simple, in partnership, active partner, sleeping partner concept is there, right? Sleeping partner is the person who will manage the affairs of the company, right? Yes or no? Who will look after the activities of the partnership firm? Working partner or active partner is going to look after the activities of the partnership firm. Sleeping partner will not look after the activities. In the same in the same way, executive director is a person who is entrusted with day-to-day affairs of the company, who will actively participate, actively engages in the day-to-day activities of the company. In executive director category, so many persons will come. Say for example, let's read out executive director. An executive director is involved in the day-to-day management of the company. They are in full-time employment of the company, employment with the company. They are in full-time employment. They are regarded as regular employees of the company. They are not freelancers. They are not independent directors. Like if there is any meeting, they will come and go. For that attendance, we will be awarded with sitting fee. We will just give sitting fee, no remuneration. No remuneration will be given for non-executive directors. Only sitting fee and traveling expenses and lodging and boarding expenses only will be given. Nothing other than that. But for MD, but for whole-time director, for CEO, COO, CFO, for these persons, are you going to give sitting fee every day? Why? Because they are going to come every day to our office. So, no sitting fee. They will be awarded with managerial remuneration. What? Managerial remuneration. We will discuss in remuneration also. There is a limit for managerial remuneration. Percentage of net profit. What we need to do if there is no profit, I am going to discuss. So, who is an executive director? Executive director is involved in day-to-day management of the company. Executive director includes positions such as these are the things which we have discussed so far. Are we clear with executive directors? What we are discussing? Types of directors. What we are discussing? On the types of directors category, first point we have discussed, that point is executive director. Executive, they will participate in the day-to-day activities of the company. And the second one is non-executive directors. Opposite. Non-executive directors will criticize the company. Criticism means meanings have been changed. My criticism means not what the word, not unable to recall. What is that word? Not cursing. Criticism and cursing is entirely different. Say for example, if you are doing some wrong things, say for example, you have a friend. Today, you told to the friend that from tomorrow onwards, I am going to start my revision sessions. I am going to study at least 8 hours. I'll study. You made promise to that person, promise to your friend, or not promise. You said to your friend. So out of 24 hours, how many hours you are going to study? 8 hours. Today, enjoyed. Very good. Tomorrow, day started. Again, you are scrolling Insta Reels and wasting the time. He came and directly asked on your face, what you said? You said yesterday that you are going to study from today onwards and you are going to invest 8 hours of time on studies, right? Then what you are doing? That is criticism. That is asking. That is without having any sort of inheritance. That is required. Say for example, if that kind of friends are there, we will develop. Say for example, generally our friends will be like, they will share Insta Reels. So even though we are studying properly, they'll come and, hey, look at this reel, how funny it is. You also watch reels. Why you are wasting your time in investing? Companies Act, Bogada Act. Why all we need it? ఎందుకు ఇవన్నీ thought. Independent, sorry, non-executive directors are that kind of critics. Non-executive directors are especially recruited by the company to direct the company in a good way. Why? Because they are not having any sort of interest in the company. They have to tell their unbiased opinion. Say for example, companies expanding. Company is unethically or illegally obtaining some sort of additional land for expanding its production facilities. Company is operating in 10 acres. Beside company production facility, another 2 to 3 acres are there, but those 2 to 3 acres are occupied by local people, what we call slum area, kind of debris area is there. So by bribing the government officials, you are encroaching that land and you are clearing that encroachments, whatever those people are occupying that land, right? So by bribing the government officials, you are removing these persons and obtaining that additional 2 to 3 acres also. For what? In order to expand your production facilities. It may be commercially be viable, but ethically, legally may not be viable. Then these non-executive directors should escalate this issue. So why all we need this kind of unreputable issues? If this issue explodes, whatever the reputation we gathered all these years will be spoiled. Do you all know about Bima Cements? Bima Cements. One simple issue, the company collapsed. What is that one simple issue means? Board of directors expelled their own parents from their managing director, sorry, board of directors, not managing director expelled their parents from his home. They'll approach TV9 in the year, I think around somewhere 2008 or 9 at that point of time. At that point of time, media means only TV9. No other channels, satellite channels are that much popular as TV9. Okay, so the parents of that managing director or board of directors approached that TV channel and raised the allegations. So, for example, if you are consuming a product and you came to know that this product has been unethically sourced, so are you going to support that product? So what you are going to do? Is there any one? For example, if the product is monopoly, you will be left with no options. One or other way you have to consume the same product. But whenever you are having multiple options in the industry, what you will immediately will do? Suddenly, ethical issue will come up to your mind. Why we need to consume these products? We'll choose another products. The market share has been gradually collapsed, and in simple, one night, hero becomes villain. The majority of the orders, or majority of the market share has been drastically dropped gradually, and they need to rename the company. And after that, they sold the company to another company, another cement manufacturing company. Okay, so one simple issue, this kind of, if you do this kind of unethical or illegal issues, if afterwards they will explode, then entire reputation, whatever the reputation you have gathered so far will be went into wine. So that is why non-executive directors will be act as checklist for the decisions taken by executive directors. I hope you all watched some no, bad example, leave it. So for example, you got a job and you wish to take a separate apartment or a separate facility for your convenience. You will approach whom for decision making? Obviously your parents. I need to I'm planning to do this kind of thing. Father, I need to execute this kind of things. Then what they will do? As per their expertise, they'll suggest go ahead or don't do such kind of things. So in that way, executive directors will be occupied with day-to-day affairs, and non-executive directors will be criticizing or giving good inputs for the better decision making by executive directors. Ultimately, the credit will be deposited in executive director's account only. Why? Because, let's say for example, if an executive director takes a good decision, obviously it will be with the whose inputs? Non-executive directors only, right? Say for example, recently flight crashed at Ahmedabad, right? Around 270 or 280 people had died. Immediately after one day, not immediately, after one day, Tata company came up with 1 crore compensation for each person. Suddenly, all the negativity having abolished on Air India suddenly vanished. 1 crore for each person, that too by company. From government end, central government is doing something, state government doing something, charitable institutes are contributing something, but company is giving 1 crore. That 1 crore may be a small amount for passengers point of view. Why? Because who will take a ride in London flights? Below BPL persons, below poverty line persons. Who will travel in Air India flights? Obviously, rich people. From rich people's point of view, it might be a lesser compensation. That might be a not at all a worthy compensation. But who are going to read the news? India comprises of 70 to 80% middle class persons only, right? For a middle class person, 1 crore is a bigger amount or a smaller amount? You need to convince, you don't need to convince the families, you need to convince the majority. You need to convince the majority. That is why they came up with 1 crore compensation. And suddenly, all the negativity somewhat has been abolished, vanished. And Tata company announced some more perks also. I think around 15 to 20 crores has been allotted for the medical college, for the reconstruction of the building, and for the resources development. There is no objection from medical college also. Of course, it is not a planned thing. It will be known in the investigation. But suddenly, that is the thing where negativity will be managed by companies. I'll say one simple thing. You might be heard in politics, diversion politics. Okay, I don't want to involve in any controversies. Okay, so non-executive director. So who is a non-executive director? A non-executive director is not involved in daily management. See, non-executive director is not involved in daily management, but participate in policy making and attends board meeting. So he will participate in policy making meetings and board meetings also he will participate. By participating, what he will do? He is going to advise. Very good. He is going to give his valuable inputs for better running of the company. Who will run the company? Executive directors. That is, who is helping whom? For better management of the company. Are we clear? So, and the next one, they do not hold executive or managerial position. Being they do not holding executive position, that is why they are called as non-executive directors. And they play monitoring or advisory role, and they may be independent directors or promoter directors. Do you know about promoter director? Simple. The name itself contains promoter as a director. Okay, promoter will become director, but he wishes to not to involve in the day-to-day affairs of the company. My uncle is there, around 78 to 79 years. He is having age. So recently also he started a company. Somewhere around 2 months back also he started a company, food processing company. Started a private company with his sons. He wished to know what is happening in the company. He don't want to, at the age of 78 or 79, are you expecting him to work? But he wished to know what is happening in the company. How he will know? If he act as a director, he has to sign the document, he has to attend in the meetings, and nothing will be done without the knowledge of the director, right? That is why he wished to take part in the company, but in active role or in passive role? Passive role. That is why non-executive directorships are designed. And he will become promoter director. Who are promoters? Uncle and his 2 sons. 3 directors. And he is a non-executive promoter director. He don't participate in the day-to-day affairs of the company, but he will be having the full knowledge about what is happening in the company. That is promoter director. So are we clear with executive and non-executive director? And the third one is managing director. Just a minute. 8:15. Next thing, lot of pending on. I think I'm able to complete this. 12 directors in this. 12 types of directors in this session. MD, WTD, independent director. Okay, we'll discuss tomorrow. Let's have a productive discussion tomorrow about other types of directors. MD, whole-time director. What's the hurry? MD, WTD, independent director, we'll discuss tomorrow. So, summarize the discussion so far. Total, whatever we learned today, just we'll quickly summarize in 30 seconds. First of all, we came to know about the meaning and definition of a director. Director is a person who is appointed to the board of the company. And the second one, roles and responsibilities. So, role of a director or importance of a director. Role, importance, significance, characteristics, features, by whatever the name he may call, but the answer is simple. How many roles we have discussed? 5 roles. Fiduciary position. Second one, decision making, compliance officer, strategic planner. Last but not least, legal representative. Don't by heart, just try to remember 3 to 4 things enough. After that, we discussed about minimum number and maximum number. Minimum number 1, 2, 3, maximum number 15. Beyond 15, what required? Special resolution required. And after that, we indulged in discussion of types of directors. Are we completed the discussion? We discussed only 2 types: executive, non-executive. Executive is the person who is not involved in the day-to-day affairs of the company. Involved. Non-executive. Non-executive is a advisory role. Non-executive director will play advisory role. Okay. So that's all about today's session. We'll resume the discussion tomorrow morning. Okay. Right. Thank you. Go ahead, ma. Well, and me breakfast time, Mali.